Zen Master Dogen spoke often of dropping off body and mind. And it is said that when he went to China from Japan in the 13th century, he met his Zen master, Tendo Nyojo. And when he heard this phrase, drop off body and mind, he attained enlightenment. So what does that mean? What does that mean for us, for anybody who wants to practice Zen meditation, particularly Soto Zen meditation? We have to keep in mind that one of the central features of Buddhism is the concept of no self. That what we think of as self is actually ego. What we identify with as ourself is actually ego identifying with itself as that. And in fact, there is no ego. There is no ego. Yet we act as though there is. We act as though there is. And so the purpose of Zazen meditation, the purpose here is to let go of the self, to let go of identifying as the self, to identify, to notice the ego that wants to grasp hold of a self and call it itself. And the phrase that Zen Master Dogen uses is dropping off body and mind. That's our practice, is to drop off body and mind. We can see similar language within Christianity. There's a phrase in the New Testament. Paul says, let the same mind be in you that was in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in the form of God, emptied himself. Right? So this idea of emptying himself, let the same mind be in you that was in Christ Jesus. This isn't some difficult thing to understand or to practice. It's the same underlying spirit that we need to let go of our selfish desires that we all have. And if we think it's impossible to do, we have to remind ourselves that even as we study evolutionary biology, all of life is constantly in a process of letting go of self, in a process of dying, so that others can live. Think about how animals survive. They eat plants. Think about how humans survive. We eat, if you're not a vegetarian, you might eat animals, but we also take the lives of plants. And all of life on the microscopic level, on the microbiological level, is constantly being consumed and consuming. There's this constant exchange of life energy. Things are dying every moment. And it's because of that constant process of life and death and life and death and renewal and death and resurrection that evolution has come about. If it wasn't for the earlier life forms on this planet dying and giving up of themselves, we wouldn't have the more complex forms of animal life and human life. And so our job is to, on a conscious level, align ourselves with the evolutionary processes on this planet Earth. We resist giving up of self. We resist that. But this is natural. It's a natural thing that all beings do. In human form, we're aware of it. We become aware of it. And this becomes a scary thing because we don't want to let go of our life. We think that it's the only thing we might have. But the great religions of the world, all of them, in some form, teach us to let go of self. Zen Master Dogen says, drop off body and mind. Paul says, take on the same mind as Jesus Christ, who emptied himself. The Bhagavad Gita says, sacrifice yourself and you will be free. Thank you.